Well, so I'll just say one little thing about this practice, and it's not about this technique particularly, but it's about practicing like this. And that, for instance, I talk about putting your mind in that quiet, peaceful place in the core of near the belly region. And it almost sounds like I'm suggesting you're going to go into this quiet place and your whole mind will become quiet, which can happen with a long period of practice and development, and in retreat those moments can happen. What's more common, I think, and I'm generalizing here, I don't want to speak for everyone's experience, is that we attempt over and over to be in that place, that quiet place in the core of our being. And of course we do notice the thoughts that come up in our mind and the emotions that accompany them. And it's okay, because especially with our modern living and the way we distract ourselves, and I don't mean that in a judgy way, I just mean we do a lot of things all the time to feel better or to entertain ourselves. It's just part of being a modern person. When we sit and practice, a lot of what bubbles up in our mind is unfinished business. Thoughts that haven't completed, emotions that haven't completed, ideas that haven't been processed all the way through. A lot of it happens, they're unprocessed because we have a feeling in our day-to-day life, and then we're busy checking on Facebook or watching YouTube or a work meeting or talking to someone or dealing with traffic. It's like we have these internal processes that start, and they're largely reactions to life. But instead of being fully present with them so that they process all the way through, they stay unprocessed because we're sending our attention into other things. So in meditation, it's an opportunity, and it just happens on its own, that all these unprocessed thoughts and emotions bubble up. And that's why we don't use an instruction such as stop the mind or try not to think or try to completely ignore it. No, there is processing that's occurring as it enters our awareness. And so two things can happen at the same time, where our intention is to draw our attention down into that quiet core of our being. And at the same time, we do notice and feel that background flow of thoughts and emotions, and we are processing at the same time. And to be, I think it's fine to be honest here that we can periodically, if not frequently, get completely distracted from the object of attention and be completely consumed by whatever that thought or fantasy or fear or anxiety is that's coming up in the mind. And when we do that, that is the processing happening also. And if you find yourself in that state, perhaps it's better to take it all the way to the end. Feel it all the way. Really think it through until there's a conclusion. And you can tell there's a conclusion when suddenly it's gone, or you naturally drop back into that quietness or that stillness within. And of course, a few moments later, maybe something else will come up, because we probably have thousands or hundreds of thousands of unfinished pieces of business in our mind bubbling up during the practice. So we really don't want to reject or push away what's arising in our mind, but really be open to it. We don't judge ourselves because we're thinking during practice. That's not helpful at all. So we could take that attitude that two things are happening. We're trying to feel the peace and the openness, and we know that our brain, our physical brain, is processing thoughts and emotions to clear out the cache, so to speak. Mostly because during our waking time, our waking hours every day, we are too distracted to take every thought and emotion all the way through to its conclusion. So then when we have 2 hours on a Sunday morning to sit in quietude, what happens? Our brain starts catching up, right? It's fine. It's natural. It can be very uncomfortable, of course. And we encounter things that we'd rather not feel or think. And that's probably why we distracted ourselves from them in the first place. But when we get through it, then there's that opening on the other side. So I just want to mention that before we start our next session of practice. So any questions or comments about what I just said before we start